Welcome to the Wyvern's Lair. I am DM Wyvern, and like many Baldur's Gate and Dungeons & Dragons fans, I have been following the development of Baldur's Gate 3 for some time now. And on the eve of the game's full release, I joined tens of thousands worldwide to watch the last panel from Hell. It was an exciting preview of the adventure ahead, full of thrills and chills. But one moment in particular stood out for me. That moment was when Larian reintroduced an iconic character to us, Jaheira. But what was, I think, meant to be an exciting reveal went across with a thud with the live stream audience. And I don't blame them. Looking at the audience, I would say the average age was between 25 and 30, with maybe a few exceptions here and there. Most of these content creators, gamers, and journalists likely hadn't even been born when the original series first came out in the late 90s. When Baldur's Gate 3 was first announced, I remember there being such angst and disappointment among people my age. While the first trailer was truly exhilarating, the great struggle against the Lord of Murder and his Ballspawn was entirely absent. And of course, when Larian launched the early access for Baldur's Gate 3, our beloved real-time with pause combat system was gone too, replaced with Larian's turn-based system that they've been perfecting since Divinity Original Sin 1. I'm sure the vast majority of people who played the original Baldur's Gate games have long since moved on and left gaming behind, leaving a handful of players like myself to carry the torch for the original games. Baldur's Gate 3 would be a new adventure for an entirely new generation of adventurers. But there she was, Jaheira, our wise, stalwart, truth-speaking companion, potential lover from Baldur's Gate 1 and 2. Older, but now maybe wiser and more powerful. And of course, we got a glimpse of Minsc, his alleged giant space hamster, Boo, still butt-kicking for goodness after all these years. Then, there is the city itself, grand old Baldur's Gate. Multicolored dome of Sorcerer's Sundries, grand headquarters of the Flaming Fist Militia, and the always thriving city docks. And finally, there is of course arguably the single biggest reveal from the last panel from Hell, a fifth, final, and fully customizable origin character, the Dark Urge. A character with no memory of their past, and dreams of blood at night, and daydreams of violence during the day, surrounded by the tears of Baal at the very end of that reveal. Tears that would appear again around the insane and murderous Orin the Red. And if the connection to the original games was not obvious enough at this point, there was also a glimpse of the horrific Slayer, the Lord of Murderer's divine avatar in the realms. So while it is true, millions of players will be introduced to Baldur's Gate 3 and that world for the first time, I would like to extend a personal thanks to the creative team behind Baldur's Gate 3 for not only acknowledging the grand legacy of the original games, but for lovingly weaving that legacy throughout Baldur's Gate 3. I could not be more excited to see my old companions Minsc and Jaheira revisit my favorite places in the city of Baldur's Gate, or discover how the legacy of the Ballspawn saga shapes and accents the story of Baldur's Gate 3. Because thanks to the team at Larian, for veteran gamers like myself, what is old is new again. If you enjoyed this video and have not discovered the original Baldur's Gate games for yourself, I would highly encourage you to check out the enhanced editions developed by the good people at Beamdog. There cannot be a better time to join Jaheira, Minsc, and many other iconic NPC companions and venture through the Ballspawn saga yourself. And of course, there is my ongoing 6-player campaign through the Enhanced Edition Baldur's Gate series with my friends Gon Soulfire, Punish Bidoof, Flint Fireforge, Linthal, Where Is My TARDIS, and more. I hope you join us for some of those episodes. Thank you for watching, and see you at the next adventure here at the Wyvern's Lair.